If you've ever looked at your bank statement and seen a payment labeled EFT without being totally sure what it means, you're not alone. EFT is one of the most common ways that Canadian businesses move money, and most business owners use it without fully understanding how it works, when to use it, or how it compares to a wire transfer. This video covers all of that in plain English. EFT stands for Electronic Funds Transfer. In Canada, it's the standard way to move money between bank accounts electronically. When your business pays a supplier, sends payroll, or moves money between accounts, there's a good chance it's moving as an EFT. The Canadian EFT system runs on a network called Payments Canada, which processes billions of dollars in transfers every business day. A few things EFTs cover in Canada could be direct deposit, or how employees get paid, pre-authorized debits, or PADs, when a company pulls money from your account automatically, like a subscription or payroll platform, and business-to-business payments between Canadian accounts. Think of an EFT as a standard rail that domestic payments are run on. When you send an EFT, your bank submits the payment to Payment Canada network. That network batches transfers and settles them typically between 1 or 2 business days. And there are cutoff times. If you send one after the daily cutoff, processing starts the next business day. Weekend and holidays don't count. So a Friday afternoon EFT often lands on a Tuesday. This is normal and expected for Canadian business banking. It's not a bug, it's just how the rails work. This is the one thing that confuses people the most. Both EFTs and wire transfers move monies between business accounts, but they're different systems built for different purposes. EFT, domestic Canadian transfers only. Batch processed, not instant, low cost, for often either free or a flat fee. These are best for supplier payments, payroll, or reoccurring transfers. Whereas a wire transfer is domestic or international. They're processed individually, faster, either the same as the next business day, but can be much more expensive. These are best for large one-time payments or international transfers. The short version is EFT is cheaper and slower, whereas a wire is faster and costs more. For most regular Canadian business payments, an EFT is the right tool. There's also an ACH payment, which is an automated clearinghouse. It's the US equivalent for Canada's EFT system. If you're paying a US vendor or contractor from a Canadian business, you might hear the term ACH. Here's what it means in practice. You send an ACH payment to a US recipient, you need a genuine US domiciled account, one that actually sits on the US banking rails, not a Canadian account that routes through international wires. Most Canadian banks don't give businesses a real US account. They give you a USD denominated account that still routes internationally via SWIFT payments, which means including wire fees even if they look like a domestic US transfer. A real US ACH account eliminates that. Your payment moves like a domestic US transfer, which is cheaper, faster, and without the SWIFT routing fees. This is an important distinction if you're regularly paying US suppliers, contractors, or platforms. One of the terms I mentioned earlier was PADs, or pre-authorized debits. It's a specific type of EFT where someone else is authorized to pull money from your account. The more you look, you'll notice PADs are everywhere in business. They manage your payroll, a supplier charges you on a reoccurring schedule, or a software subscription billing your business directly. For payroll specifically, this matters a lot. Payroll platforms in Canada like ADP, WagePoint, and Humi use PADs to pull the payroll amount from your business account. Your business account needs to support PADs for this to work, and not all of them do on every plan. For Canadian businesses, the payment infrastructure behind your banking matters more than most people realize. This is where Venn comes into play. Venn is built on genuine EFT rails, meaning PADs work natively. Payroll platforms can pull automatically from your account, and local transfers on the Plus and Pro plan are free. On the US side, for ACH payments, Venn provides a true US domiciled account, which means that they work the way they're supposed to. You're not routing a domestic US payment through SWIFT and paying wire transfer fees for it, but you're actually able to send real ACH payments. For businesses that pay suppliers in both Canada and the US regularly, having both sets of rails in one account removes a ton of friction and costs that come with cobbling together multiple banking products. If you want to see how that looks in practice, the link to Venn is in the description. The EFT is the backbone of Canadian business payments. Understanding how it works and how it differs from wires and ACH helps you pick the right tool for each payment and avoid paying more than you need. Subscribe now if you want to hear more plain English breakdowns of how Canadian business banking actually works, and drop a comment if there's a specific payment type or banking term that you've been unsure about. I'll make sure to cover it in the next video. Thanks again for joining us, and I hope you subscribe and check out our other videos on Canadian business banking. That's all for now.